Mondamedge?
Well, he's a bit of a tricky customer, but he's got plenty of ability. He's another one that can get worked up at the start. He went to post early. He was behind a few of these at Chester last time out. Before that, he ran at Pontefract and he won. But he did race on the favoured rail, very much getting the run of things on what was really a golden highway that day.
And Jawal, I mean, at the beginning of last year, Jawal looked like a potential group racehorse waiting to happen.
Yeah, he could just be a fairly big price here. He was sort of, my shortlist was condensed down to Copper Knight, Illusionist, and then Jawal, who, when he dropped down to 5 furlongs last year, really did take off. Now, his wins were on a quick surface, and I think the fact that it's drying out will help him. He's got form on everything, but I think he's a fast horse that bounces off reasonably good ground. He would go on anything, as I said. Ideally want it a little bit quicker than this, but he does go well in big fields. He's drawn right in the middle, so wherever the pace is, he should get a toe into it. He was below form on his reappearance at Beverley, but he shaped to me like he needed the run, and he wasn't given a hard time. And there's still a little bit of mileage in him off 95.
Venturous doesn't like the stalls very much, and he's not particularly enjoying them today. He'd got in a bit of a lather down at the start as well. And Connor Beasley is trying to perform a bit of circus acrobatics here before he gets on at the very last minute. It'll take a little bit of finessing for sure. Illusionist is in the purple colours with the yellow sleeves and cap. He goes forward, and now Mulzim for Mike Murphy, and we're nearly a complete line for this 140, our opening race here. I think there are just 3 more to come forward, so it gives me a chance to say very good afternoon to our commentator here on the Naves Mile this afternoon. Beautiful day it is as well. Mike Cattermole. Mike, hi.
Hi, Nick. Yeah, thanks very much indeed. Looking forward to this. Glory Fighter and Autumn Flight. Just the last 2. In goes Autumn Flight. It's right next to the rail. Glory Fighter, who's drawn 13 here with the blindfold in. He's in as well. They're ready. Venturous just rearing up a touch, and away they go for the Matchbook Betting Exchange handicap. Hooray's got hampered at the start, wasn't the best away. Mondamedge likewise, and Mulzim. And on the near side, Kind Review didn't get the best of starts either as they raced through the first furlong. Sunday Sovereign showing up well on the near side group. Dave Dexter there as well with Autumn Flight. Count D'Orsay right up with a Midwinster Jawal. Over on the far side, the light blue colours of Copper Knight, the previous winner, with Musica, and Rayong in the sheepskin noseband is next. Then comes Indian Sounds, Venturous tucked in behind these. Shaken along now is Illusionist, the gambler of the race. It doesn't seem to be picking up in the purple and yellow colours. Mulzim trying to thread a passage through. Jawal is the leader though, together here with Copper Knight. Copper Knight beginning to serve it up to all of them. Mondamedge is running on with Mulzim. Copper Knight running around a bit in front inside the final furlong. He goes. Mulzim is lunging late on the near side. Copper Knight wins it again. Mulzim in second place. Mondamedge in third, followed on by Midwinster in fourth place. Illusionist got going very late together with Venturous.
Splendid little horse he is, Copper Knight. He's 7 years old now, and they thought he wouldn't train on beyond a 2-year-old. Well, he did, and Tim Easterby's done a tremendous job with him. Copper Knight wins for the 5th time over this course and distance, 2nd time in this race, and he beats Mulzim into 2nd place with over on the far side in 3rd. That is Mondamedge, and back in 4th, I think, was Midwinster. Ahead of the others, more of whom in a moment. But Copper Knight is an admirable enthusiast for the sport, and following on from an excellent 3rd last week, he stepped up on that at his beloved York, Chris, and Jimmy Sullivan's having a bit of a job pulling him up.
Yeah, he's tough, isn't he, this fella? He's always up there, always attending to Masika through the early part of the race. And then he faced a couple of challenges once he'd seen that off. But as soon as Jawal gets to him, look at his tenacity. He really knuckles down, digs in, fights off that challenge and the late challenge of Mulzim that comes at him as well. Just a really tough horse, loves this track, loves big fields, and he was glowing in the paddock beforehand, and he shone in the race.
You mentioned Jawal. He's ended up being beaten by quite a lot of these, well out of the placings, but he's shaped really well. I'd be very interested in him now with this under his belt, and perhaps with even more cut in the ground. Look at Mondamedge, misses the break quite badly. The grey colours with the yellow stripes, sleeves and cap. He's done very well to finish as close as he has.
Yeah, he comes from last position, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In the run, Mondamedge, and the start has not helped him, but he's got a lot of ability. He's travelled through. I suspect that these big fields are going to suit this horse. They have done here, and just because he can be a little bit slow away, any track that places a real emphasis on getting a good position early won't necessarily suit him. There'll be tracks that suit him better even than here. Ascot maybe.
And he was raced up to be prominent very early, Mondomedge, having missed the break. By contrast, Mulzim, jockey, was prepared to bide his time that little bit more. He was held up in rear as well. It just goes to show you how well Copper Knight's done here.
Yeah, he's fought off some strong challenges, hasn't he? I do like the way that Jawal is shaped, for all that he's dropping away late on. I suspect that he's going to hit a crescendo for the season in a run or two's time, and you can keep an eye on him for big field handicaps. All of that ability that he showed last year is still there. It got pretty tight for fifth. One or two firms were probably paying out on fifth here. It was between Venturous, who was on the far side, and I think it was Glory Fighter, who was staying on up the near side. So far as the draw is concerned, Lucky, we were thinking about that before racing yesterday. Stall 9 beating stalls 4 and 10. 3 and 12 were the